Well, good afternoon and evening, everyone. This is Tara Quator. It is Friday, February 9th, 2024. It is day 40.
Whoa!
We've actually made it 40 days without having any beer or alcohol in general. Kind of proud of that. It's another milestone, so you're going to see the number has a new color. I should probably, I'm thinking I should change it every 10 digits. Should be fun enough. It was Lily messaging me because Lily is over with her mother today. Just a moment. Oh boy. Unless you want. Anyway, yeah, we're trying to figure out what we're going to want for dinner tonight because, as usual, Lilia is very indecisive. It's to be expected. And no, this isn't beer. It's Red Bull. You can tell. I remember I'd say about 10 years ago, every time I opened a Red Bull, whether after work or before work, this is when I could work. It was before I got injured. I'd open a Red Bull and I'd just hear Peter Griffin in my head doing that thing when he had Red Bull for the first time. So it got really annoying. And ever since then, I don't watch Family Guy anymore. I haven't really watched Family Guy in, I haven't watched Family Guy in like 4 or 5 years now. I really don't care anymore. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I seldom watch anime. I did watch the first 2 episodes of the Halo TV series, season 2, on Paramount Plus. I watched them last night, and it definitely seems better than the fustercluck that was the first season. I'm remaining skeptical because there were so many things that went just wrong for season 1. So I'm remaining skeptical, but there is an actual fan of the franchise that's involved with it, so that has helped. Ackerson has been cast really well. The Spartans do seem much more Spartan-y now. When I first watched the first season, I figured it would be a lot darker with those emotion pellets or whatever. But then I realized they were just full of crap and too robotic. So now, with them not being there so prevalently, seems better. The action was a little more fluid. There are a few parts where like CGI was used where it didn't exactly need to, but I guess safety or something like that, or just, budget. CG is easier in a lot of aspects now. I guess one thing that I will say that's from both seasons that I haven't been liking so much is seeing their faces while in the inside the helmet view. And seeing that, it feels jarring. Like it's not exactly necessary. But I think if they do something like that, you need to see more of like the internals of the helmet and not just their head on a black screen, because it's really jarring. And that was there in the first season. It's still there in the second season. The action, like I said, is definitely better for the most part. But I could definitely use not having Quan Ha in there, especially with how she was written, especially in the first season. It just doesn't seem like she needs to be there at all. It's like some kind of uninvolved filler arc. I understand wanting to have more scenes to fill things in, but She seems very uninvolved and just shoehorned in. Could have done a lot more, back channels UNSC talk or even, well, yeah, I'd say back scenes with the UNSC could have worked. Haven't really seen. There weren't many scenes with Keys this time, so we'll see how that goes. I want to see Johnson. Definitely want to see Johnson. But in the end of the second episode of this season, Visegrad got mentioned. So I want to see how things do. Obviously, this is very different from the game, so it's kind of like its own story arc. But there are a few things that are similar enough. Not giving away too many huge plot points, but Visegrad was mentioned, so I want to see what similarities there are between the Halo franchise, like the book Fall of Reach or even the game Reach, because of the Visegrad relay. So I want to see how that goes down, and will Silver Team get any mention of Noble Team being the Spartan 3s, because we haven't seen any Spartan 3s, or really they only say Spartans, so we don't know if they've come across any Spartan 3s, or if they even know they exist, or if they're going to be in this franchise, or in the TV series. But if they are, I mean, there's a good possibility they will be, because Ackerson is here, and if I remember correctly, it was Ackerson who spearheaded the Spartan 3 program. So there is that possibility, but I do want to see if that's the case. Are we going to see or hear about the Noble Team? Because I mean, they're the ones that originally, well, they were ordered to go to the Visegrad relay after it went dark several days prior. So I'd like to see how that goes down. It is definitely looking promising. They did say it was a little bit of like a soft reboot of the series itself, and right now it's kind of looking that way. I appreciated that there's a slight elevated amount of humor between Silver Team. I did appreciate that. It was interesting to see. I mean, it wasn't much. It was like in the very beginning of the first episode when they're on the ridge. Just typical, elite soldiers banter kind of thing. It's definitely not. I would be surprised and laugh my butt off if they have some like Spartan 2s or Spartan 3s in one scene, literally having banter like the Reds and Blues of, red versus blue. I would laugh my butt off if they just have two Spartans out of nowhere, like, hey, you ever wonder why we're here? That would be a hilarious Easter egg. I don't expect to see any of that, because it seems more that they're trying to Paramount wants to set themselves apart, and I know 343 looks like they're trying to distance themselves from their old licensing partnerships, I guess you could say. That's what it seems, but it would still be a very nice homage Easter egg to see some just low tier, maybe Spartan 3 washouts. Yeah, just bantering in the middle of some chaos, or they're just off nowhere, not seeing any of the action kind of thing. Or maybe that password please bit from Halo 3's game. That'd be fun. Yeah, overall, I look forward to seeing the next episode. I think it's going to be next week. Yeah, I think it's next week. But what is there, only like 8 episodes again? I was talking with some people who were having a conversation on VisiPop's X thread about Has Been Hotel after its finale, which, by the way, was really good. So if you haven't seen Has Been Hotel on Paramount, on Amazon Prime, give that one a watch. Don't let your kids watch it. That one ended really well. It had some nice surprises at the end. I can say that much. But we were there were a bunch of us talking on there. My input, I guess, is blown up a little bit. Where I said that while the series ended well, it was a bummer that it's only 8 episodes long, because it was only a few years ago that they went from like TV series having seasons that were 23 episodes long. Then a few years ago, it went down to 16 episodes, then 12, then 10, and now it's 8 episodes. Like, seasons are only 8 episodes. And this isn't just with animation. This seems more or less across the board if you're not a soap opera, where just your seasons are incredibly short. Like, even half-hour episode shows are only getting 8 episodes. I mean, another fine example of this is South Park. They used to do 23 episodes, then they went down to 12, and now they're only like 7 or 8 episodes a season. And this is across the board with even hit TV shows that get good ratings. It just, and a lot of it, I'd say, is budget. I do think, instead of just, being time to produce something, I think the budget is playing a bigger role with it, because it ain't getting any cheaper to make this kind of stuff anymore. You can only cheapen it so much before you lose quality, and even then, if you go overseas and production isn't getting any cheaper anymore either, because production companies ramp up and they're saying, well, our talent is actually worth this much. At least that's what I think it is. It's still a bummer, but at least on Has Been Hotels, and they ended on a really good note, a good twist. So I'd like to see how things progress with Halo Season 2 on Paramount, and see if that one, well, that one's not going to end on a good note. No spoilers necessary unless you've never played Halo. If you've never played Halo and you're watching the Halo series, I don't know whether to feel bad or applaud you for jumping in. It's definitely written in a way to not just be for the game fans, because the game fans are obviously going to be the ones quickest to get annoyed. But I'd still be more surprised than anything if people jump in having never played a Halo game. But if you haven't, and you actually see this and be like, wait, Season 2 is going to end on a bad note? I'm sorry. I've played the games. I've read the books. They're well over 10 years old at this point. I mean, Halo itself is over 20 years old now. So, yeah, this season's not going to end on a good note. But it's going to, what I'm hoping is that it's epic. That it really does do honor to the original story of the Fall of Reach. That's what I am hoping. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it at this, because I've got some other things I need to do. I'm going to figure out when I need to go to the store to make dinner for tonight for everyone. Even though I talk TV, I don't talk TV very often, because as you've noticed, I am extremely picky with my entertainment. Even video games, I am extremely picky. I may have a long list of games on my Steam. I don't play very many. As you see, it's mainly the same games on what you see in the background, because I don't like playing too many franchises, and even then I'm enjoying some of them less. Just not fun. I've had some people ask me if I was going to play Pal World, and I'm like, no, I am not. And it's not just because it's popular right now. I just don't care. It's not my cup of tea, and I'm not going to force myself for other people, because if I'm not going to enjoy a game, it's going to be obvious around other people. But I will be leaving it at this, because I want to start getting ready to make supper for the family when they get home. And I'd like to enjoy my Friday night. So, yes, we will leave it at that. This is Terra Quator on your Friday, February 9th, day 40, 2024. I will see everyone tomorrow.
Let's get to that terminus and find Infinity.
What do you know about Infinity?
Not much. She was supposed to be massive, but the project was only in prototype when we left. Chief, the Covenant net's going crazy. They're ordering all units to converge on the tower.
I guess we got their attention.
We're about to have our hands full. The elites just issued a general order. They're moving all ground teams to secure the tower entrance above us. Sentinels are trying to keep the Covenant out. While you were busy, I managed to clear up another transmission from Infinity.
Located a forerunner coordinates for the artifact.
Sounded like he said artifact.
I wonder if it's related to whatever the Covenant are after.
Where's the terminus?
The map placed it at the top of the tower.